if you check on your end, make sure everything sounds okay, and then post in the Discord.
Yeah, I was listening to a review of RoboCop because I saw that it was
it's like
$5.
Yeah, it's like
on
$5,
Steam.
dude. It's worth $5, 100%.
It's worth
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I think
Okay. I'll have
you'll
to
have
get it
for $5. Yeah, you'll have a good time with it. I mean, I would have paid more for it, honestly, but
yeah, you can't beat $5, man.
We sound good.
Yes, we do. I checked.
Yes.
And I just posted in the Dissy.
Welcome.
So
to
it looks
the
like
show.
I'll be buying a vacuum cleaner and a grill this week, David, because almost, we had a little, minor incident.
Yeah, you
Very
almost
minor.
lit your apartment complex on fire.
No, it was contained within the grill. It was just going out of the grill too.
Oh, good.
Into all the wires, and I was like, "That's not good."
Wait, what did I do?
Good thing they put the propane line down far beneath.
So here we are again. I mentioned this to you before we started the show, and I thought this is a good place to start, just as like a little bit of a follow-up from our discussion last week or review of, I was about to say The Last of Us Part 2, of 28 years later, which, funny enough, has been titled 28 Weeks Later all week, and it's one of the best performing live streams we've had in a while. And I changed it recently, so we're all good. But I have seen it again, Joseph. I was dragged back to the theater to go see to go see 28 Years Later again, because I didn't tell friend of the show, Justin, that I'd already watched it, which is crazy because obviously he's not keeping up with the show, so he's banned from the show forever.
Yep, he is.
So I would say that my thoughts on the first half of it are pretty much the same. The performances are strong. Like, I think the first half's, at least as far as like setup is concerned, before you find out everything else that we talked about, pretty much feel the same about it. Think it's good. And again, one of the things we talked about is the like amount of nudity in that movie. And
yes,
it really, watching it again, it really does feel like the first half and the second half were directed by different people. Like Danny Boyle came in for about half the movie and was like, okay, I did my part, and then they just had somebody else finish the movie. Because the tone, the editing, a lot of stuff changes. It feels like it becomes a different movie after that first half. And that there was like something else that was supposed to happen, and then they decided to change it into like him dragging his ailing mother through, this insane landscape. That
was wild,
it was
dude.
So, dude, and watching it again, the second half's even stupider than I realized. Like, even it's like every detail of it, because we talked about a lot of the stuff, but like every detail of it, you're like, how did he get away with this? How did they not die like immediately? The whole thing with Eric's insufferable. Like, he's supposed to be, I think, a little bit like annoying or like on edge, like you're not supposed to like trust him or whatever. He's just he just kind of sucks in general. And the whole like pregnancy thing is it's borderline like a joke. Like, I think there's two major moments in that movie that I found to be comedic in a way that they're not supposed to be, and it was the whole like birthing scene, especially after seeing it and then just like kind of wanting to know what like other people think of it. Like, you're just like, oh yeah, this is more of a joke than it is a serious moment in the movie, because it doesn't make any sense. And then of course, like, you know how Ray Fiennes' character, he's like, oh, the placenta, it's like magic or whatever. It's a magical thing. Like, I was wondering if that would be the way that it happened. Well, you like think about it again, and it's like, well, why would you think that? Also, if her blood the mother infected's blood is still infected, the baby would have gotten infected.
Yeah.
Regardless of how it came out of the womb, there was like blood everywhere.
Yep.
And it's like, what? Like, I mean, I guess if, there's another way they could have handled that, maybe, to make it make more sense. But maybe that would have been too graphic for for the movie if you put too much logic into it. But again, it's all the same stuff we talked about, and I think the second half is worse than I like watching. Yeah, and watching it again, it really solidifies that. Because like all the soldiers are really stupid. They have like automatic weapons. They're supposed to be relatively well trained, and they can't take out a tiny horde of infected. What ultimately comes down to a tiny horde of infected with, modern weaponry. And then the alpha like sneaking up on them doesn't really make a lot of sense because it's like, how did he get around in the tunnel? Like, there's just a lot of stuff about it that when you get to that second half, really, like, as soon as Spike and his mother leave the island, there's just a lot of like, huh? And like, why? And like just unanswered questions and stuff that I almost would guarantee you isn't going to get brought up in the second movie.
No, especially with who's on board to direct the second movie.
Right. It's coming out in January. So yeah,
let me put it like this: I have doubts that it will be.
Yeah, I don't think they will. There's a lot of stuff in there about his mother in particular. But the only thing still is like, I like Ray Fiennes in it. I think kind of out of the context of that second half, like, it's the strongest part of the second half. But it's unfortunate that the only way to sort of determine that is going to be based on like what comes next for his character.
Yeah.
And if they can kind of like how they handle that, like, are they just going to make him crazy man in the wilderness, or is it going to be more like complex than that? And I doubt it's going to be very complex. So, it's unfortunate, man. Kind of dropped the ball on that one.
But it could
but
have been a hit movie and, blew everyone away and did really well at the box office. But unfortunately, they just
it made its
land the plane home.
Yeah, and it did make back its quote unquote budget, but like just barely. And I don't think it's going to have really, really strong legs over the next couple of weeks, especially because of everything that's coming out,
Yeah. Well, who's going to go see the second one?
Yeah. I mean,
what's the retention going to be like?
Right. It's more
The
curiosity.
first one isn't, I know some people were saying it's mixed, but it seems to me that I'm seeing more negative than positive.
Yeah, I think it's kind of soured on people as they've had time to kind of like mull it over, and it's relatively forgettable, just in the sense of like I couldn't really recommend it, On a potentially brighter note, though, I didn't realize it was coming out this year. Edgar Wright's next movie, The Running Man, just got a trailer released.
Yes.
And kind of like Frankenstein, a little, tiny glimmer of hope. I did not care for Last Night in Soho, his previous movie.
Yes, I remember.
It didn't land for me at all. And it's always funny when that happens because it makes me think like, all right, maybe I need to go back and just like double check, I don't, that one I doubt would, but this looks like fun. It's kind of return to form for him as a director. Like, it's very action focused. And that's one of the things that he's always been really good at. So I'm hoping that with this one, I think it comes out in November, but I might be wrong about that. I know it's this year, but it's just kind of something to look forward to, because I was telling you, and I think I was telling you this last week, maybe even on the show, and I was telling Justin after we got out of 28 years later, it's kind of been a disappointing year for movies. I
It
was
has been
there
a
was
real disappointing look here.
all this opportunity, and I mean, there's been some good stuff. Some, it's very small amount, but nothing that has just been like excellent yet.
No, I think you and
Um,
I were really expecting that 28 years. For some reason, we thought it was going to knock it out of the park and be
yeah,
that, but
yeah, yeah. That was kind of the expectation. I mean, they came in really strong. There
yeah,
wasn't
that
really
trailer was so
so
good.
good, yeah. Um, but yeah, it's just kind of and it's crazy, dude, to think like so 28 years later didn't knock it out of the park. They've got another one coming out, and I guess we were kind of like you were like, who's gonna go see that? And part of me's like, well, I'm kind of curious. I was like, but I'm not gonna go on day one. Like I'll go on if I go see it in the theater, it'll be on like the cheap ticket day,
Right.
and it'll probably be more to clown on it than anything. And again, it's more out of curiosity because you never know, man. Like it could end up being like way better for whatever reason, but I doubt it, especially with the ending of 28 years later. That it's even like on a second viewing, it's just like it turns into like a clown show, and you're like, what are you guys doing? Why are you breaking the sort of like the universe that's already been built? Like, why are you putting these clowns into this? It's like, who asked for this? It's weird, and I did not care for it. But yeah, I think
it's pretty much like as soon as they leave their main dwelling, it goes downhill fast because you're like, how are they getting out like that? Why is there only one person left? Why is the fire easily distracted? Why? How is she able to just roam?
Yeah,
And
I wanted to know more about like we already just went over this, but kind of last point, I guess it would have been way more interesting if all of the drama and everything was coming from inside the community.
Yep.
And you don't have to do like your typical like, oh, someone's wants it a different way. Like, I don't know, the kid can have conflict about his parents and his father and everything that's going on. Dude, Spike, honestly, even I think one of the most annoying things about it is that like he's incredibly naive, and the movie doesn't ever do anything to sort of knock him out of that. Like he doesn't really have a major character defining like arc in this.
Yeah.
Nothing that I think is fully earned. Like they kind of try to do it, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense because he's upset at his dad for cheating on his wife, but his father still understands how everything works. It's like survival, and so there's this opportunity for them to both. I think I talked about this last week too. For them to come to terms with each other and the world that they live in, and like that's the problem is like Spike, because he's so young, and this isn't really a problem as much as they just never resolve this. Because he's so young, he doesn't ever come to like the conclusion of like, okay, despite my father's shortcomings, he's someone that I can still look to when times like get hard, and he obviously understands how to hunt and how to take care of all this stuff. Like, they set him up, in the beginning of the movie as being that character. Like his father is very competent at what he does, and there's a lot of interesting stuff that they could have done with that. And then there's like, no, we don't need to do any of that. Like we'll just have, I think his name's Jamie. Jamie will just sit around at home for the second half of the movie. He's no way he would like ever go after his kid, who he clearly loves and cares about. Like so dumb.
And it makes way more sense if they wanted to do what they ended up going for. What they could have done is pretty much. You probably have to write Jodie Comer's character out of it because I don't think it makes much sense for the son to go with, like, take the mother with him to the doctor.
It doesn't make sense.
But maybe you just have the son leave and sneak out. I think that's more plausible.
Agreed.
To go get the doctor to bring the doctor back to the.
Well, and maybe like we had talked about it last week too, but like maybe she doesn't have cancer, right? Which we don't even know, like, because obviously the doctor, that was something I noticed watching it again. He's like, I don't have any equipment and no way to really test it, but I think you might have cancer. He could just be lying, right? We have no idea. But I think like because there was this need to set up the sequel, it really hurt this movie because they needed to like leave mystery boxes or the suspense of like what could be coming.
They're so focused on setting up the future movies that they weren't thinking about this movie.
Yeah.
And like I said, you could easily have it to where like like you brought up, maybe she doesn't have cancer. Maybe it's something else, but maybe, he still catches his dad having that affair, or they have some type of fight or whatnot.
She could have dementia or like just anything that is causing her to have issues that is bringing strife towards her and her husband. Like there's all sorts of ways you could do it.
And then the son leaves to go get the doctor. The father's like ends up finding out the next day or however many hours after.
Right.
And he goes after his son, and to try to restore and renew their relationship. But they were trying to do too much, and maybe it's not they were trying to do too much. Maybe they just didn't write it properly, and it's more of just a writing issue.
Yeah, it's a lot of setup that has like pretty much no payoff by the end of the movie. That's the problem. There's all these strands that they were trying to put into place for a sequel, and it just was not that was not the way to handle it. Like I think they made a bad call with that. So still really can't recommend it. It's definitely one of those things. It's like if you're curious, just wait till it's on streaming.
Yeah.
All right, Joseph, I'm going to let you go next because you watched a movie that I haven't seen yet, and in hindsight, I probably should have watched it.
Yeah. So, okay, I want to make sure I don't spoil anything for you because I want you to watch it. It's definitely a recommend from me. It's a really good
What are we talking
movie.
about?
Warfare.
Okay.
By A24. Okay. Do you remember what it's about?
No, I have no idea.
Okay, so it's basically a movie regarding a battle in Ramadi. Am I pronouncing that Ramadi, Iraq? And it's based on the memory of the.
Don't worry, the internet will tell you.
Yes, it's based on the memories of a co-director, Ray Mendoza, who's a former Navy SEAL, and he was in this battle. And so it basically is just highlighting that battle scene. So it breaks from traditional storytelling, as in you don't get any backstory. There's no like traditional narrative really outside of these guys get deployed to Ramadi, Iraq, for a U.S. military operation, and everything goes haywire. And basically, what the main point of the movie, in my opinion, the main point of the movie is to make the audience feel as if you are in the battle yourself. And so, I mean, as soon as it picks up, it's going, man. I mean, on a technical aspect, excellent movie. The sound design, everything. I mean, you're going to, for me and my wife, you're going to feel like you're directly in the movie. And I actually kind of enjoyed that it broke away, funny enough, from the traditional storytelling, because it's like, oh, I've never seen a movie like this that's literally just giving, all it is a scene of a battle between the Navy SEALs and Al Qaeda or ISIS or whoever it is. Al Qaeda, I think, in 2006, right?
Sounds right.
So, but yeah, it's a hyper realistic depiction of the combat battle then, and A+ from me.
Awesome.
As far as on the technical end, the cinematography is great. I mean, man, it just once crap hits the fan, I mean, it hits.
Is there anybody notable in it? Because I know, didn't they hire a bunch of actual like Navy SEALs?
Yes,
to be the actors in it. Is there anybody that was sort of the actor to carry it? Like, did they hire anybody?
It's more of an ensemble cast than it is like probably the most well-known, the two well-known actors in it. The two most well-known actors in it are going to be Will Poulter and Cosmo Jarvis.
Yeah,
but
how do you forget a name like Cosmo Jarvis?
It's not. They don't carry the film. It's an ensemble cast, so it needs everyone. There's not a. I mean, I would argue there's not a main character. It's all of them operating together. But it's really well done, man. I mean, you watch it, you're gonna feel like turn the volume up because you will feel it's made to overwhelm your senses.
Hmm.
Like that's exactly what it's made for, and it's heavy too. So you're gonna get pretty much all aspects of um war. And so I
Oh, that's
mean,
crazy.
like I said, technically wise, the sound design, the cinematography, the editing is, I mean, everything kind of once crap starts hitting the fan, the editing and the cinematography and the sound design is done to kind of disorient you.
Yeah.
Um to put the audience in the soldiers' perspectives and to give you, you know, the feeling that you're there in the battle, almost kind of how, you know, horror movies try to do.
Yeah.
You know, especially the old ones. It's a really authentic memory. Excuse me,
Movie.
an authentic movie. Yeah, and a
Um.
memory, I guess, too, since it's from the dude's memory.
So did
Um,
with the movie, are you at liberty to say how you watched this? Did you watch it on Amazon?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I was just
YouTube.
curious.
It was on available for YouTube for you could buy it or rent it.
Oh, you could like rent it
So,
on YouTube. Oh, gotcha.
yeah,
Okay. I was curious because
I'm gonna buy it. So,
really?
yep,
You
it was
liked it
so
that
good.
much? All right.
Yep.
I'll have to check it out. I was curious
I'm not
where
gonna
I
buy it right now, but next year when I'm out of debt, I'm gonna buy it.
there you go. I was mostly just curious, if people were interested in watching it where they could actually find it.
Yeah, the only place I was able to find it was on YouTube.
Cool. It looks like
So,
Amazon has it as well for rent. So
yeah, it's available. Why was I not able to find it on Amazon for $6? Maybe I just looked at the
I
wrong
don't know.
thing and I thought you could only buy it for like 35. I'm like, I'm not buying a digital copy.
Ooh, it's
As
a
you know, I only buy physical
yeah.
media.
It's almost exactly an hour and a half. That's kind of impressive.
Oh, that was the other thing I was going to say. It was a movie that was, I don't even think it hit the hour and a half mark, just shy of it. But that was the thing that I also enjoyed. I get to sit down for a movie and not have to commit 2.5 hours of my life to it. Which I
Yeah.
think with
Yeah.
how they operate the story, and really, I think their main point was to just, I think what they were trying to accomplish with this was just to, how can we overwhelm and disorient the audience to get them to actually feel that they're in the battle themselves.
Mm,
And they accomplished it.
sweet.
Yep. So, but like I said, if you more want the traditional storytelling, like having a narrative, having the character backstories, having a clear mission objective, which I think like maybe you could say, you know, once
Well,
everything gets sideways, the mission objective is to like
yeah.
retreat and get to safety.
It's the show. It's the show not tell side of things. Like I don't think that. Okay, so just because I don't want it to get confused, I guess that everything has to fall into a very specific pattern for me to like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
It can be weird, and it's just about the way that it's done.
Yep.
Like the script
And
is
it doesn't make any kind of social commentary. I think you can pick up if you
I'm
want to
sure.
from it.
Yeah. I'm sure
An
there's.
anti-war theme to it. You could if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You could also. It doesn't make a positive statement one way or the other
Right.
of being there. It's just trying
That's
to
good.
show you the horror of war
Yeah.
and
It's
how
they're.
terrible it is
Yeah.
in a different way than All Quiet on the Western Front did. All Quiet on the Western Front, you get a true narrative.
All Quiet
You
on
get
the. Uh,
character development. There's no
yeah.
character development in this. Everyone's stagnant.
Well, and
Um,
All Quiet on the Western Front is clearly anti-war. Like it's not.
yeah, yeah,
It's not.
yeah.
There's not a question of, the how the writer and felt about that war.
Yep.
I don't think it's.
You just get all you're getting in this movie is the soldier's immediate experience, and that is it.
Yeah,
And
that's
there's
cool.
no context to anything outside of the only context you get is what the characters have. So if the characters doesn't have that context, you don't get it either.
Yeah, that's
So,
cool.
which I enjoy. So, you have to, because there's uncertainty around everything, how everything's going to go. Um, it does then you feel that uncertainty, and you have to grapple with that anxiety as well. Oh, where's the next blast going to come from? What's going to happen next? It go, bro. And I will say the first major event that happens, you got to pay attention, because if you don't, you'll miss a key point, and then you'll be like, what the heck happened?
Oh, heard. Okay.
What happened to this? So,
so very positive review from Joseph.
yeah.
A rare positive review.
It was nice. It was like, this is so much better than 28 years later. And everything that's come out this year. This is my number one movie for the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. All right. I think I'm going to tell you about the movie. I've got 2 movies to talk about. 3 technically. Oh, let's start with the one I didn't finish.
Okay.
So I caught up on I was like just in the zone this weekend, got a whole bunch of stuff edited. And I was like, all right, like I'm going to finally sit down and just catch up on some movies that I haven't seen. Now, obviously I haven't gotten all the way through everything. This will take probably the rest of the year to catch up on the first half of the year. But I did sit down and watch 3 movies, 2.5 technically, because I didn't finish one of them because I got really bored. But I watched, the one that I didn't finish was Megan 2. It's just it's not as good as the first one, which is great.
Oh no,
dude! It's like
it wasn't.
It's weird.
Okay.
It's the kind of movie where I think the first movie did pretty well, if I remember correctly, and obviously it did well enough that they wanted to make a sequel. It's just from what I'll probably try to finish it at some point. But they just, I don't know, without giving away too much, because essentially there's like a rogue, because like Megan's supposed to be this AI. She's like a killer AI, and she killed a bunch of people in the first movie. And then in the second one, she's gone, and they spend maybe a little too much time dealing with the aftermath of that. I guess I to a degree appreciate that they even bothered to talk about what had happened in the previous movie. Like there's sort of consequences for it. But this one, essentially someone has created another rogue AI, and it's going around the world like taking out these like important targets. And so everyone's brilliant idea is to recreate the murderous robot that came back. Right. And I got about halfway through it while Megan is hunting down this other AI, and I don't know exactly where it's going to go, but I just kind of started getting bored. It's one of those movies where they do the and then kind of thing, So it lost me pretty quick. And then I watched A Working Man, the new David Ayer, Jason Statham movie.
Oh, yeah. How'd you like it?
It's fine. It's pretty unexceptional, which is kind of disappointing.
That's unfortunate.
About
on par, though.
Yeah, it's not the story as much as it feels like it's the direction. I think it's a little too long. It's sort of your Taken setup. You know what I mean? So this guy's, it's not Jason Statham's daughter, but his boss's daughter gets trafficked basically, and he has to. He doesn't want to like help them at first because he's like retired from. He was in like British. He was like SAS or something like that. I can't quite remember. Anyway, he's some British military super soldier deal, and it doesn't lean into what these movies need to be, which is sort of just like dumb action flicks with like kind of a your hero is trying to save the girl from like these evil people, which is really what
Right.
that's what they're going for. But it kind of spends too much time. It's almost like too chatty. Uh,
Mm,
it's too much time
the
of
dialogue isn't that
Yeah,
good.
yeah, and it's too much time of people like talking to each other and doing things that just seem to be eating up screen time. Um, it's kind of an odd movie. I it's not the worst thing I've seen this year, but it's not impressive. And I don't, it's weird, Joseph, because 28 years later is just kind of a weird anomaly of a movie for me. Only on I'm having a hard time where I feel like I need to put it on my scale, or like, because it's really the bottom half of my scale.
Right.
That one in particular, I'm just struggling with. Because it's like there's stuff that I actually do like about it. It's just like a majority of the second half of them. There's plenty of it. Obviously, it tips more in the way that
With
towards
28
bad.
years later,
Yeah. So if I've got my like my 1 to 10 scale,
every time I
right,
think of that movie,
or
it
like
just
where
gets
I'm,
worse in my mind. I lower my rating to it.
so like it's with everything that's come out this year. Wait, where is it? Did I not
In the
save it?
trash.
Oh, I forgot to save it. Oh no, there it is. So it's basically kind of middle of the road.
Hmm.
Um, and then we'll get into the other movie I saw in a second that I actually, for the most part, liked. Um, but this is just kind of like interesting because the middle of this list, not like the top, the stuff that's the best stuff I've seen this year so far, and then like the worst stuff I've seen this year so far. It really does sit mostly in the middle, which is kind of what we were talking about last week, where I was
Hmm.
like, I don't really like it, and especially after seeing it again, I still don't. I think it's actually worse than I had originally thought, but it still sits sort of middle of the road because Thunderbolts, Witcher, Wolfman, Captain America. Um, there's a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
you ain't
that's
kidding.
yeah. There's a lot of stuff that is I found to be significantly worse. What's up, Jenna?
Oh man, I don't know. It's hard. What's
it's
up,
a
Jenna?
it's a weird, and even some of the stuff that's a little higher than that. Like I don't even know. I might have to move these. Because I had Predator, Killer of Killers above it. I not on purpose, I don't think. But I'm just looking at the
Mm.
stuff that
I
is
would put Predators, Killers of Killer
above it.
above it.
You
Yeah,
liked it more. I just don't.
yeah. I mean, I could do without um
It falls into
the
this.
zombie wiener and
Fair enough.
having a 15-year-old kid be your main character, seeing all that nudity. Like I'm good.
Um, I just because other than that, right? It's like Mickey 17, and then like Thunderbolt. Like it's a terrible. Like if we put right now the stuff that I would
Hmm.
consider, it's over half my list really of stuff that I'm like it was not good this year.
You think it was? I'd put Ballerina above 28 years
Oh,
later.
it's yeah, Ballerina's above it.
Yeah.
Um,
So I'd do Ballerina, obviously Warfare. I'd put Killers. That's three movies right there.
okay,
I'd put above it.
but I'm
That's
saying
my
like
top three.
the stuff
What
that's
all have I seen
under
this
it.
year?
So
We just
every
talked about this last year.
yeah,
Or last week? What I saw. But go ahead.
so Mickey 17 is under it because
I can
that
understand that.
that performance from Mark Ruffalo in that is horrible. Like
Yeah.
it kind of ruins the movie. Like the movie's got that's tough, dude. I wonder if I could put I don't know. I need to think about this more. Thunderbolts is probably too high on this list. I'll put Thunderbolts down here.
Oh, I'd put The Gorge above it.
Yeah, I've got the Gorge above it too.
I'd go. I think my top three movies this year would be so far,
They're all
since we're through
bad
the high
though.
wave point, would be Warfare number one And then I got The Gorge and Ballerina rated the same.
This
I
is
guess
just
you go
sort of
The
my
Gorge and Ballerina.
yeah. I'm kind of just I move these
I'm just gonna put The
around.
Gorge ahead of Ballerina just because it's an original-ish idea.
One of the reasons I think I like The Gorge more is because it's just a tighter movie.
Yeah, that makes
But I don't know.
sense.
They're pretty like
They're neck and neck right there.
yeah. It's
I mean,
I'm
neither
not
one are as
fighting
good as-
over like everything under 3 all off under the top
Yeah.
or bottom 3. But it's man.
Neither
there's
one
just,
of them are as good as Madam Web was last year.
But like Wolfman, I hated. Obviously, Captain America, Thunderbolts, The Witcher. But there's just everything I've seen so far this year, other than about there's a small handful. The list of like bad stuff's getting way longer. It's kind of crazy.
I'd give. I think.
Oh, I still haven't seen
Like-
Minecraft, bro. I need to finally sit down and watch that.
Oh yeah, I almost watched that this weekend just because of you. I would say like Warfare, to give you a proper expectation, I would say anywhere from 3.5 to 4 stars,
Okay.
like out of 5. So,
Okay.
like,
Jenna was asking.
and we gotta watch F1 as well.
Oh
since
yeah,
I've heard
I do want to see
good
F1.
things about that.
I had thought about going tonight, and then I was like, oh crap, we have to record.
What
Jenna-
happened, man?
Jenna was asking about Ballerina. So I think overall we were, I guess, mostly positive, but it has a lot of the same problems the other John Wick movies have, where it just kind of forgets to be a narrative.
Yeah.
And people just die, which is fine if that's what you're looking for.
It kind of forgets its place.
A little bit, but yeah, we covered that a couple weeks ago, Jenna. But it's fun.
I'm gonna check my list out for 2025. All the movies we got to see. Did we watch The Final Reckoning yet? I don't think we
No. Well, we talked about it last week because I just forgot that it was out.
So we got The Final Reckoning to see. We got Knives Out coming out this year too.
Oh no,
we definitely got to do that.
Oh yeah, because people loved how much I hated it last year or last time when Glass Onion came out. You don't get it. That was the point. It was supposed to be stupid. That was the point. It's like, what? I don't think people hear themselves when they argue sometimes.
And then we got Avatar: Fire and Ash right at the end of the year.
Pass.
Is that still coming out?
Yeah, have fun if you want to see that. I don't.
Yeah, I'm pass too. But we got Superman next week.
Superman, yeah, and
we
Jurassic
got-
World.
Does Wicked come out this year too? We got Wicked, I think. Zootopia too.
I still haven't seen
got
the
a-
first Wicked.
Yeah, you got to watch it.
I know.
It's worth it. We got F1. We got to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I almost watched, almost, but not quite. Death of a Unicorn.
Oh, it's funny you bring that up, Joseph.
Did you watch it?
I watched it.
Ooh, what'd you think?
It's pretty good. It is. It's
Give
not.
it out of 5 stars. What would you get rated?
Now
Or you
on
could give a grade, however you want to do it.
if we're on my scale, it's probably like
Where does it rate between The Gorge,
It's not-
Ballerina, and 28 Years?
it's below. Okay, listen, Ballerina, it's not fair because Ana de Armas is in that movie, so it's just automatically there's going to be plenty of things that lose. It's not an unbiased review for me. So I think Gorge and Ballerina were both a little bit better. But it's fun, and it's got Will Poulter in it, which is funny that you brought him up being in Warfare. And it's kind of an interesting story. It's got some of the same problems that a lot of modern stuff does. It's probably a little too long. It messes with the pacing. But it's pretty funny and kind of has like a interesting premise to it because there's actually like lore to the unicorns. So kind of interesting. Yeah, 3.5 out of 5 probably isn't a terrible place for it to be, Jenna. It's definitely something that I would be like, yeah, if you're like kind of into the concept, you probably enjoy watching it, but it's nothing special. Like it's not going to blow your socks off, but it's good. All the everybody's doing like a pretty good job with the acting, and I like the premise behind it. Just
And what did you say it fell between those movies I listed? Did you answer that?
So if it's the Gorge and Ballerina are both above it, and
The Gorge and Ballerina are above it.
28 years later is quite a few slots below it right now. Yeah.
Okay. That's good then.
I feel like if you looked at my list of everything I've seen this year, you would kind of understand why 28 years later is where it's at on here, because this middle, like 10, 11, and 12, which is kind of the middle of my list for the most part, those three movies, it's like there's movies that there's a lot to appreciate about them, but there's stuff that's significantly flawed about them, which keeps them on the lower end of this. But everything else that's below those is pretty much just bad.
Yeah. If anybody's interested in watching Ballerina and they didn't go to the theaters, it's on streaming now as of yesterday.
Cool.
So
Sweet.
I think it's on Peacock or something like that.
Yeah.
And so we got Jurassic World. These are the movies on our list for the rest of the year, because Love Hurts unfortunately ended up sucking.
Oh, did you finally watch it?
No, I didn't watch it because I fully trust your review.
It was bad. Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Which sucks because I like
every time on streaming.
I like that guy.
I can watch this, but David said it sucks, so I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah, it's just not very good.
So we got Jurassic World, obviously.
Novocaine was all right if you ever get around to watching that.
Okay, I'll give that a try.
You probably like it. It's definitely better than Love Hurts.
We got Frankenstein, Tron, Ares.
Right. Yeah. Tron, Ares.
Mortal. Oh yeah, I know, dude. You ready for that one?
I've seen that trailer a couple times, and it just, I don't know. Tron was always one of those movies that probably never needed sequels. And now, right, we're pretty much 10 years.
The first movie was probably enough, right?
Yeah. Well, the first movie's not very good. I think it's okay for me to say that, but I
haven't seen it in so long, I can't remember.
Tron is an interesting idea that I think ultimately is a little boring in execution. And so I don't know. And it's been, so the last time they brought one out was probably a pretty good time to release that movie, but we're 10-ish years removed from that one, if not more than that. And you kind of look at it and you're like, who wants a third Tron?
Yeah.
It just feels like a weak choice if you're gonna do a remake of something. So I'm not really looking forward to it. What else is this year?
All right, so we got Mortal Kombat 2.
Is the main character from the last one gonna be in it?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because he was a bit of a wet blanket. Just,
freaking
a little too much of an everyman, I think.
Carl Urban's in it.
Oh yeah, he's playing Johnny Cage.
Yep,
that could be interesting. He's a little old to be playing that character, but we'll see. We'll see what he does with it.
I think the last one came out in 21?
Something like that, yeah. It was one of the first things we reviewed.
It was, along with Godzilla.
That was crazy. Yeah.
Was it Godzilla and Kong the first one?
Yeah, is it Cross Kong, right? Was that
something like
the
that
versus?
Then we got Predator Badlands this year.
Dude, every time I see the trailer for that, I'm like,
I know.
Not feeling it.
That freaking teenage or whatever Predator cracked me up.
Yeah. Predators.
Now You See Me.
Oh,
Now You Don't.
Oh, yeah. No. Not a chance. We'll forget that one even came out. Just like we forgot Mission. Dude, if we forgot Mission Impossible, if we keep forgetting about it, most of the stuff you're talking about, we're going to be like, oh, yeah. Is that on streaming yet?
This year for movies and TV shows, right? Yeah. There hasn't been any memorable TV shows, has there?
Mobland's supposed to be really good. It's the new Guy Ritchie. I got to sit down and watch
Get
it.
around to watching it.
Yeah.
The Old Guard 2 is supposed to be out like sometime this week, I think.
Is that the one with Charlize Theron or Theron?
Yeah, no, I don't really like her.
I don't even know if I saw the first one.
I saw the first one. It sucked.
We're about a month out from Nobody 2.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Man, I need it to be good, dude. I need a win. I feel like if that turns out to be not good, I'm done with the year. We're just gonna hang it up.
Just give up.
I got my top 3. It was like, guys, we're taking the rest.
Well,
of the year
we got the
off.
Running Man.
Running Man, yeah. There's definitely.
When does that come out?
November, I think.
Okay.
You can look it up if you want to.
We got the Running Man. November. We got Frankenstein. It looked good. And
yeah. So there's room.
And we got Superman.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's room for the list, the top 3, the top 10 to actually turn into something a little more interesting for the year. It's not over quite yet. Still quite a few things that I need to work my way back through to, just hoping to find something interesting. So just, the stuff I was kind of looking forward to this year has all turned out to be kind of average to not good. Yeah. Which is fine. It's like Death of a Unicorn is one of those movies, and we've talked about this before, but like, it's okay that there are movies that kind of range in that like 5 to 6 area that you're like, I didn't hate that. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It's just a little bit of entertainment. Like, it's not a big deal. It's like, I just want a few more of the 8s, 9s, 10s.
Yeah,
just a few.
We got Anaconda coming out later this year, but I think it's going to be more like a comedy because it has
of course
Paul Rudd and Jack Black in it. So I'm assuming it's going to be
great
like that. But we got the Smashing Machine as well. That's supposed to come out. That's a movie based off of UFC fighter Mark Kerr and his struggle with addiction. Winning,
that looked pretty good. The trailer for that looked, the Rock in it. There's a couple like indie thriller horror type flicks that are coming out that I'm kind of curious about. There's one in particular called Weapons. I think I mentioned to you before. That I'll probably end up seeing just because Justin's like kind of interested. So, and then I thought there was something else. I'm just slipping my mind. Yeah, there's definitely room, dude. We're not done. We're only about halfway through the year. I found out today too that we are now on this day closer to 2050 than we are to the year 2000. So have fun with that existential crisis.
And we got what else is coming out for TV show wise?
Dude, I don't even know. Fallout's at the end of the year. I know
it
that.
is?
Yeah. So
the Sandman's coming out tomorrow.
Bro, I'm not.
I ain't watching that bullcrap though.
No.
I couldn't stand it first.
Nah. There was one episode in that first season that I liked.
I don't think there was any for me.
There's one where he's recounting previous people who encounter, like, I get what's the best way to explain this, because it's not super fresh in my memory, because you're right, that season was terrible, but he's got like a friend, Death does, who he sees over the years, and they like the whole episode is, if I remember correctly, it's like them sitting down like talking about all that stuff, and you get to see this like passage of time. I thought it was like a pretty smart episode in what is otherwise like a terrible season.
Well, you know why this is the last season of The Sandman, right?
Because Neil Gaiman did a bunch of bad things. Didn't he get?
Well,
he got Me Too'd in the year 2025.
Well, no, I mean rightfully Me Too'd.
Yeah.
From what it seems like, I mean, from
dude, who knows?
But,
I swear, some of that stuff's like professional wrestling.
Who knows, man?
Because it's just, it always. I mean, I'm sure it's just that. Because I was watching some other stuff on YouTube recently, and it was just like people talking about what it basically comes down to, like YouTube drama, and whether it's like real or not, it always just feels like wrestling to me. Like there's this level of separation between us and what's happening with a lot of those people.
I think what we've talked about before,
odd.
It seems like some people, like with a lot of the stuff that comes forward, knew with certain people, not everyone, right, but with certain people, and yet they never said anything because of their access or because of the problems it would cause. And so,
Yeah, absolutely.
but
And then they wait forever, and then everyone's like, it does become this thing of like, are you guys still just trying to ride this wave from 7 years ago or whenever
it's
it was?
unfortunate because it hurt, the people who try to capitalize on it in an unjust way. It hurt the people who were doing it rightfully, because
there was
happens with almost every movement, dude.
Yeah,
that's pretty much any movement that gets started.
Yep.
It gets started on the right foot, and then
it's almost immediate.
Come along, and
it's just like fandom, dude. As soon as something gets into sort of like the mainstream, it just like ruins it, and it becomes the most like generic, like whitewashed version of the thing that it started out as, which is kind of an interesting. It's interesting that's almost like a pattern, regardless of what we're talking about.
But August 27th, we got the Terminal List Dark Wolf, which is about old dude, and then we got Wednesday in September. I'm gonna watch season 2 or part 2 or whatever they're
season
calling.
1, dude. I tried.
Yeah,
I watched a couple episodes and I was like,
You're gonna watch The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, right? I didn't realize they were still even making shows.
No, not a chance, dude.
I'm like, man, there must be a dedicated audience to that series.
There's enough people that they've got all these spinoffs, man. I don't know who's watching it, but somebody's watching it.
Somebody is.
The
last season of Stranger Things in November.
Oh, yeah. So that and Fallout will sort of end the year as far as television is concerned. I'll watch Mobland. I need to sit down and just knock that out at some point because it actually does look good. Because right now, the only TV I've really seen this year that I've liked was Reacher season 3.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Reviewed?
Like nothing, because none of it's been interesting. Mobland's the only thing that I think that might actually be worth it.
We stopped watching Last of Us season 2.
We couldn't finish. Yeah. Joel died, and even when it was Pedro Pascal, it's like I don't really know if I want to keep watching this.
Yeah. Wow, he was freaking shouldering that show.
Oh, I know. And speaking of, dude, Neil Druckmann is no longer involved with the television show.
I saw that. That's funny because he knows season 3 is going to be horrible.
Yeah, I think they all realized season 2 was garbage because they're like, wait, why is everybody turning on us? And it's like, did you not know? Did you really not know?
That's what they need me for. Just pay me, $500,000 after taxes. I'll be your yes man and your no man. I'll save you a bunch of money. This is for any Hollywood studio out there. I'll work remotely. You don't even have to pay for my stay in California. I'll stay where I'm at because I don't even want to go there.
So The Last of Us should have just been the one game. It was.
Dude, there ain't no way me and you could not have done a better job than a lot of these executives for these companies. Easily could have saved more money. Even if we would have lost money, it wouldn't have been nearly as much.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand what they're doing. How hard is it to just get your pulse on what's going on out there?
Yeah.
It's weird. It's
There's a SEC football series coming to Netflix in the summer.
Have fun with
that.
Nice.
So we got Alien Earth season 1.
Yeah, we'll see.
August 12th.
I'll watch Alien Earth.
Yeah. It's to be determined when that series is supposed to come out. But then August 30th, we have college football kicking off. That's not a TV show. That's just for my own personal enjoyment. Go Huskies. Yeah, that's really. I'm not seeing the American Revolution on PBS.
Okay.
Outside of A Eye is Out, but that's a movie. That's not.
Yeah, it's not going to be a TV show.
Yeah, sorry, I'm looking at this list.
It just sort of feels like a weak year, man.
Way weaker
than I was expecting. I really thought we were going to get.
Oh, dude. What just came out this week? Oh, Squid Games.
Oh yeah, no. I watched.
Have you watched it?
No, I watched season 1, but I never even finished. I didn't watch the season 2 or whatever.
I've heard part 2 or season 3, what they're really is just they knew. I know exactly why Netflix split it up this way. This last season, quote unquote, is getting drilled. Like, it is
Bad.
horrible
I've heard.
reviews.
Yeah, I've heard.
Horrible reviews. And that's exactly why Netflix did that.
Yeah.
They're like, nope, we're going to stop it here. Release part 2.
Well,
I can't say I blame them. Somebody at Netflix was at least thinking.
All right, Joseph. Well, before we go, let's return to the magical list of 100 watch movies for your normie friends.
Let's do it.
I need a number 1 through 76.
59.
59. Have we talked about 50?
59.
59. Okay, this is an interesting one. This is I would think a little more of an or like lesser known movie that's on this list. Not old per se, but it is over 10 years old now, which is crazy. It's kind of crazy to think about. This movie stars none other than Tom Cruise, Joseph. And Emily Blunt, married to what's his face from The Office? His name's slipping. John Krasinski.
Joseph Krasinski.
Yeah, John Krasinski.
John Krasinski. That's it. Okay,
Do you know what
Joseph
movie
Krasinski.
this is?
No, I have no idea. You said it has Tom Cruise.
It's got Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt in it.
Oh, and Emily Blunt. And I thought you were talking about John Krasinski. I'm like, what
No.
movie has John Krasinski been? Okay, you're talking about they changed the title of it.
They did.
The Edge of Tomorrow?
Edge of Tomorrow is the original title, based on a book. I think it's a French graphic novel, or it's just a graphic novel, which has the name that they should have named it. It's called All You Need Is Kill, which is way cooler.
What did they end up going with?
So
with the Edge of Tomorrow?
it was originally called Edge of Tomorrow, and then they changed it to Live, Die, Repeat, which is even dumber. Like, it's just thank you for telling me the premise of the movie and the title. Like, what are we doing? And All You Need Is Kill worked. If you can name a movie Dread, all you need, and this movie came out peak Marvel. This is right around the time where Marvel was really starting to just like take off.
Hit their stride.
Yeah, and we realized that because Guardians of the Galaxy came out and was successful. So at that moment, and we've talked about this a little bit in past episodes, where it's like once you realize that you can market a movie with a talking raccoon and a tree in it, calling your movie by the original title of like the graphic novel, like calling something All You Need Is Kill, it should be totally fine.
Yeah.
You know? And for whatever reason, they just didn't. I love this movie. It's probably my favorite of the sort of like Groundhog Day-esque plot lines. Tom Cruise is great in it. You know, great actor. He elevates this movie a lot.
He does.
Just the way that you get to see him struggle with having to constantly die and relive the same day. And, you know, there's a great moment in it where I think Emily Blunt asks him how long he's been doing this. And I can't remember if he gives a certain number of days, but you kind of understand that it's potentially been a very long time because of the way that the whole situation has been wearing on him. And it's just fun. Just a really cool movie. You know, you got big exo suits that they're fighting in, trying to like kill these aliens, and he's trying to figure out how to break the cycle of this day over and over again, and he like gets progressively closer to figuring it out, and he like gives up at one point, which I think is really cool. Yeah, it's a really cool movie, and it's on the list because I think that it's a really, really easy entry point to this specific type of movie. And it's just one that it's a personal favorite. So that is why Edge of Tomorrow is number 59 on the list. Not that the number really matters. It's other than Lord of the Rings being at the top and a couple other things that are at the very top. Everything else, they're not in a specific order at all. It's just kind of as I was thinking about those movies. I might have to go back and actually give all of these like
That's a good rating, though.
give
59.
them,
I mean,
give them like the star ratings that they deserve on here or whatever. So we'll see. All right, Joseph. Well, I think that's going to be it for this episode of The Underground. Do you have anything else you want to add?
no, sir.
And are we planning on doing F1 next week? Are we doing Jurassic World? Are we doing both?
Oh, let's just commit to doing Jurassic World.
Jurassic World. I'm going to see both, regardless.
And I'll try and see both.
Okay. Cool. So we'll commit to Jurassic World next week. F1 is amazing. I mean, I'm going to go see it, so I'll tell you some like general thoughts. I won't spoil it. But I'm planning on seeing both of them before the next show. So, all right. Well, on that note, Joseph, thank you to everyone who joined us today on the live stream. Thank you for everyone who's been downloading the episodes and who's been watching the shorts. Until next time, y'all take it easy.
See ya.
Good night, everybody.
Holla.
Holler. Oh, I didn't end the live stream before I